vibes. Wordle. Back to it. Sorry. That shit's crazy. ADHD. This tattoo is so fucking hard, bro. Boy, I know it. Sorry. My girlfriend is a tattoo artist. Shout out Art Babe Tattoos. Okay. I'm here. I like to usually do something with the L. Let's do crash. I like crash. Ooh, okay. What about trap? No. What about... No. P, B, brats. I just want it for the letters. No T. P-R-A plank? Prank. Ooh, that was good. So it's P-R-A something in? What the fuck? Nah. What? Praying. I'm just a praying. That's a word in the South. That is a word in the South. Okay. P-R. Prego. It's not that. No. So. No. What? What the fuck? Wrong. Okay, I feel like oh, it's my last guess put in. Prawn. Let's go. Hell yeah. No, I'm not giving you my info. How am I gonna get ad on a fucking... Okay. Colors. Y'all heard of this? Dialed? We're gonna get some colors. Okay. I'm gonna do easy. Okay. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Alright, it's like a bright green, maybe a little bit more yellow. Okay. Oof, that looks kind of good. What do you think, chat? Nah. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. Let's go, bro. Two hue off, a little bit darker on the shade, but the balance was great. Okay, let's go. Next. Ooh. I don't even know what. Ooh, it's like Barney kind of. Okay. More pink. Okay. think that's too pink. That's too fuchsia.
And that you are loved to the full measure.
Okay, this is feeling good.
We'll see you soon.
Okay, this is feeling a little dull. Ooh, I feel like that's too pink. It's too purple. Oof, that looks a little dull. No, a little more. Alright. Shit, I'm gonna guess. Had no idea. Forgot the color. Straight up, forgot the color. Okay. What the fuck is that? That's like a brown. That's brown. That's brown gray. I'm fucked. Brown gray. Look at brownie gray. That looks good. Yeah, it was purple, bro. Chartreuse. Chartreuse. That's the only thing I think of. Chartreuse. Okay. Right there. Let's go. I'm good at greens. I think because we just see so much green during the... Hello? One more. Let's go. Okay. It's like a blue, green, gray. Blue, green, gray. Okay. Ooh, this is looking good. I'm gonna guess that. Hey, that was not bad. Girl, that was something. Let's go. 40 out of 50. I'll take it. Boo. Alright. To the crossword. Before we get into who is yeah, thanks for hanging out, whoever's here. Alright, let's see how many we can do. Camera setting, night mode. We know that. Oh, go back. See how many you can do. Make a run for it. Chase. Dash. Leave. Evade. I don't know. There's a lot of words that come to mind. Like rocks and minerals. Crystals? No. Hard. Farewell, mon ami. Au revoir. Don't know how to spell that. Literary figure who rings a bell. Quasimodo? How the fuck do you... I gotta look that up. Bag of... What's his name? Quasimodo. Okay. How do you spell that? Quasi. Look how many ads are playing right now. You want ads with your ads, bro? Damn, shit. No, what's this? Okay. Remote spot. Secluded. The end table. Don't know. Finesse. Could be so many things. Beach soccer organization. Bitch, who the fuck plays beach soccer? Overly caffeinated. Hyper. Yeah. Nancy Drew chum. I don't know shit about Nancy Drew. Lab infestation. How am I supposed to know? What? Foxy Brown do? A Jerry girl. I don't know. Middleset. Don't know. Cousin. Cousin it. His name is just It, right? But that's... Okay. Head out. Heads out. Leaves. Bye. I'm so sorry. Some transformation. I know, right? What the fuck are we talking about? Anthony Mackie of LMK. Don't know. Say Nest pause on pipe. Who fucking knows? Confidentiality. NDA. One bro to another? Bro. Takes to heart. Don't know. Call the midwife figures. Bitch, what are we talking about? Exclaims. Yells. Shout. Who knows? Crushed. Smashed. Pause to catch up. Essential fatty acids. Avoid having to hoof it. Avoid having to hoof it. Don't know. Things to avoid. Your mom. Some high-flying performers. Pilots. Acrobats. Acrobats. Is that not how you spell it? Acrobats. That's right. Alright, it's not them. Point of view. No idea. Jargon in video game chat. Chat, what's the jargon in video game chat? Muslim face covering. I only know about the hijab. I don't know the other names. That's on me for being culturally ignorant. Harden. Harden? I don't know. Nannies and kids. Work unit. Hours. Work week conclusion. TGIF. Ha ha ha. Term of affection. Mommy. Mamo. Imagine someone called you mama. Switch positions. Got me switching positions. Something like that. Celebrated, perhaps? Italian scholar Umberto. Who the fuck is Umberto? On the blank of sex topic. Topic feels like the right answer. Hyper might not be the right answer. Bitch. Okay. Baking soda target acid. Chi. Chi. Chicago. Chi. Energy. I don't know. Cocktail party attire. Black guy. Kind of sketch. A bit. Hydrate right after planning. Seedings. Soak. Watering. Water through. Water right after planting. First watering? I don't know. Source of Siroccos. What the fuck is a Sirocco? Hello. I don't even know that word. Ugh. Hot blowing wind from the Sahara Desert. Okay, so winds? Nope. Sahara. Okay. I don't know that either. German East. Don't know German. Uncover. Unveil. Hall of Fame figures. Goats. A poet. Who the hell's a poet that's performed at the Super Bowl? A marching band. Orchestra. Comparatively large band. Theater section. The rafters, because that's where I'm at. A wand. Gather that celebrates DC icons. Love that. Love that. Siddhartha. Ooh, I actually read this, bro. I don't remember who it's by, though. I did read this about the journey of Buddha. I don't know. We blank. We scare. Because we care. Bring together. Gather. Not gather. Russian doll protagonist. Well, that's Natasha Leonis, but I don't know her character name. Moat. River. Objects of reverence. Spielberg Quartet. Tends to stain. Her name's Anna, right? Mino? No. Knock. Hey, yo, that makes no sense up there. Something's fucked up. I know black tie's right. I don't think bit's right. Okay, that's all we can do. On to the next thing. Alright, let's watch about the new rules of YouTube by Colin and Samir. Let's go.
Today's guest is Paddy Galloway. He's one of the most sought-after YouTube strategists in the world.
And that's largely because of the work that he's done generating over 10 billion views with clients like Red Bull, Jesser, and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Now, we wanted to bring Paddy back on the show because YouTube is going through one of the most significant shifts in its history.
That is true. YouTube is like paying a bunch of creators to exclusively, or not even exclusively, exclusively host on YouTube. It's like when Spotify was having those big deals, with like Joe Rogan and whatnot, that they were signing exclusive. Netflix is trying to do that right now to YouTubers, and I don't know if you've already seen like Kill Tony, Nick DiGiovanni, and a couple other people are releasing on Netflix first and then YouTube. And YouTube don't like that. And 10% of people watch more YouTube than they do any other type of TV.
More people are watching YouTube on their connected TVs
That's what
than
I said.
any other platform.
And this shift is having major
beating
impacts
Netflix
on creators. It's changing what gets seen and what doesn't.
Now, the great thing about Paddy
Yeah,
is
bro,
that he's
no
in the
one's gonna-
weeds
no
day to
one
day
sees.
across multiple
What's
YouTube
up,
channels.
girl?
So he brought
Hey, how you
forward
doing?
frameworks and real case studies
I'm
and
doing
real videos
okay.
that are working
We're watching this video about the new rules of YouTube. Let's get into it.
in this new era of YouTube.
Thanks for
Now, if
hanging
you've never
out.
listened to an episode with Paddy Galloway, you are in for a treat because his accent is fantastic.
It's just delightful.
I could listen to him talk about anything.
All right, now for our episode
Hello.
with YouTube strategist Paddy Galloway.
All right, Paddy, welcome back.
Thank you.
Back by popular demand.
Exactly.
So you
Exactly.
brought some graphs.
I did.
Okay,
Let's talk about this first one. This is titled The Great Device Shift.
let's see. Oh, this is for YouTube. Tablet has been constant. Yeah, bitch. Kids watch tablet all the time. Computer, same thing. Who watches YouTube on your computer, man? But TV, hey, if I'm being honest, I watch YouTube pretty much every single day on my TV. That premium really works. And then the phone is crazy. About 2023, the phone shifts to where only about 30% of the viewers are on the
What are we
device.
looking at right now?
So
Okay,
it's
that's
a very
crazy.
common talking point that people are, mentioning a lot these days about how YouTube is going to TV. But
YouTube.
myself and my team
I
wanted to
love
actually
British
dig
people saying
into
too.
what the data shows about how drastic this shift actually has been.
Mhm.
So this is a really interesting graph where we looked at some of our biggest clients, and this is millions worth of view data. And we noticed this really crazy shift
Yeah.
around 2023, where you see for the first
Yeah, what the
time
fuck happened in
TV starts
2023?
to lead with our clients as the
I want to bet that's maybe when price hikes. Let's see if I'm right. Yeah, look, first major hike since 2023. The basic went up $2 and the premium went up $3. And the with ads tier was like added. Yeah. That's what I thought. I was like, people got pissed off that Netflix, a handy service, was raising their prices with nothing on the fucking platform, bro. Absolutely nothing on the platform.
the biggest device type they have for their viewership. If you kind of look back to 2021 and where it is now, I almost sort of find it hard to like even imagine how quickly viewership behavior has changed over these years. Like to go
Yeah.
from what's that 23,
No, that is
24% in
crazy. How in 4
2021
years
to now
it's
being
flipped.
over 50% of
Yeah.
our clients'
Went from 20 to
viewership
50
is
and then
pretty wild.
went from
Yeah, so I
55
think
to
most
30.
creators we talk to now say
It's just like,
somewhere between 40 and 50% of their viewership comes from television. So
Yup.
this is like a major talking point for YouTube because it really helps attract advertisers, right? There's still a lot of money spent on television advertising. So YouTube's push.
yeah, and like with individuals creators too, you can just pay an individual creator $5,000, $10,000, especially someone like Drew Gooden, Danny Gonzalez, fucking Joe Bart or anything. You give them 10 grand for one ad, bro. Their one video reaches like 5 million people. So that's like, what the fuck is that breakdown? You spent 10 grand to reach 5 million people. Your cost of acquisition is nothing. Or you could run a national ad campaign and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. Advertisers are getting more bang for their buck with YouTubers, man. That's all there is to it.
Saying, hey, look, people are watching on TV. Has this been led by a change that creators made, or is this led by a change that YouTube made?
I think it's a few things at once. So I think about 2 or 3 years ago,
It's YouTube maturing too. Like, people have been on here for a long time, so they're getting better at editing and they're getting better.
people started to realize that long videos
Yeah.
were performing better.
Yep.
And you start to see the shift. I mean, like, we can actually just go and look at one of the graphs I have here real quick. Just the average length of a long form video. So this is from
Damn. 2020, 12 minutes long was the median. So that's the middle number. Mean average was about 16 minutes long. Now the average is 24 minutes long. 6 minutes of content ain't nothing to sneeze about. 6 minutes is a lot of time. Yeah, 51% longer. That's crazy, bro. It is true. Because no one wants to watch something for 10 minutes. They either want to watch something for 30 seconds or they want to watch something for an hour. There's no in between.
100 billion views worth of data. And we can see the mean and the median there increasing. It's up 51% since 2020. Creators in 2020 were making kind of 12, 15, 60-minute videos on average. And creators today in 2025 and 2026 are topping out at kind of 20 to 20-minute plus quite frequently.
Yeah.
That's been a big factor in just the device type shift, because of longer videos.
When was the advent of
Yup.
mid-rolls?
I agree.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time.
Yeah. That was
I don't remember. I guess we never made long enough videos to have mid-rolls.
There was a time when it was like you had to be longer than what, 7 minutes or 10 minutes or
Something
something like that.
Mid-roll
Yeah.
ads, bro.
I wonder if this is just by nature of creators getting more sophisticated and
Yeah.
better at storytelling and production,
I agree.
that naturally you're going to make longer videos.
Yeah.
Or if it was a mixture of different incentive structures.
I do think the people coming to YouTube now, though, are better, more tech savvy people than like 15 years ago. Like, you could literally just like trip in the street with a jug of milk and it would go viral. That shit would never happen today. That would be just something you scroll past.
I even think for us, it wasn't so intentional to make longer videos. It just was the format.
Felt
Like we were making a
natural,
podcast,
yeah.
so it was inherently longer.
I think you can't overlook the fact that the YouTube app is and has always been free. And the moment that it ended up on TVs and it
Yes.
was recognizable and people had a relationship to it, they're going to watch on their TVs. The longer the content gets, the better it performs, the more ads that play, the more monetization opportunities that came to creators that they could invest back in their content, continue to make higher quality, longer form videos that then get watched again on screens. It felt like this perfect storm that led to this right now.
So can you show us an example of a long video that has worked for one of your clients?
Yeah, I've got a great one right here.
Okay.
So this is a video that
Oh,
Red Bull
bro, I
posted.
watched this video. This video was gas, bro. Honestly, hold on. No, this video was really fucking good, dude. This was a really good video. Whoever shot this video, the cinematographers, everything like that, Red Bull, keep doing absolutely crazy shit. We love it around here.
A few months ago, Red Bull are one of our clients, and it's ice skied down Mount Everest, world first, no oxygen. Now,
Yeah.
let's get the elephant out of the room. I mean,
Good
the
title.
concept itself is amazing. So, that's
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
helped this video
Had a
travel as far as
fucking
it did. It's
great
got over 30 million
concept
views.
off
It was
it.
one of the most viewed videos of Q4. But I thought it was interesting because I know firsthand from working in YouTube strategy for as long as I have, that 5 years ago, this would have been a 10-minute video. We would have made it 10 minutes, maybe shorter. It might have been 5-10 minutes. And now in 2025, because of these trends we're talking about, because of the TV device type taking over, it became a 31-minute video with not too many cuts, not
Yeah.
a really fast-paced edit, doesn't even have
Yeah.
narration. It's a 31-minute video that's made for TV. A few years ago, everyone was complaining about this kind of like retention editing and, oh, YouTube is becoming too fast-paced and all this sort of stuff. And here we are a few years later, and one of the most viewed videos recently has 31 minutes of unstructured footage.
This was a
Big man.
refreshing video for that reason. I told you, but I looked at this thumbnail for weeks and I'm a skier and I didn't click on it. And then finally, someone told me about a week ago that it is not edited like a normal YouTube video. They're like, it's not stereotypically what you would expect. It moves way slower. There's a little bit of text, but then it just lets this scene unfold. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. I think for that reason, it was refreshing for a lot of people. I think my assumption, even with 31 minutes, is that it still would be highly edited. There'd be a ton of investment in how it's edited and how it's cut, but it moved a lot slower.
Like, take us into the room
Yeah.
of the discussion about this video. Is it like, let's try and make this 30 minutes? Or is it just the best footage is 30 minutes?
I think it's
I
a
think
permission
it's
thing.
let's try
I
and
think
make it
3 or
30
4
minutes.
years ago, even me myself as a strategist, I don't think I would give a client permission to make a video that's that long and that kind of like free flowing. When we see the data, like, this is the thing. I think there's a lot of things happening at once here. There's TV happening. There's
Discount
YouTubers realizing they
reviews
make
here.
more money from making longer videos. And then there's also just an increase in strategy. Like, people think more strategically about what to make and, how to approach content. So when I think about this video, it's like, it was such an incredible feat. How sad would it have been if it was a 5-minute video? Like, it deserved to breathe and be longer. So
it did deserve
I think
to be
the decision
big.
makers and, everyone involved in this video was like, this deserves to be 31 minutes.
So there's something really interesting with the word permission, because the thing that I think about as a viewer of YouTube now, when I sit on my couch and watch a YouTube video, the switching cost is so high. And what I mean by that is to futz around with the remote and get to another YouTube video or like another channel, it's too much friction.
Yeah, I will say with the TV, the remote is a little harder because you have to exit. You can't do like you do browsing where you just kind of like pop it into a window and keep watching while you're looking for a new one. You really have to click and then be committed, and then you can maybe like scroll down in the recommendations, but you can't really. it, like you said, switching costs is high on a TV for YouTube. You want to pick one and stick.
So I actually, when I open the app, I'm looking for a recognizable experience that's like a show. And the show that my wife and I watch is from Stephen Lim, Adam, and Andrew, who
Never forget what they did to Watcher.
have a new show that's very similar to their show called Worth It, where they try a bunch of different foods at different price points. I will save up 3 of those episodes, which are each in the 20-minute range, until we're ready, and then we'll watch all 3 in a row. And that's the end of our YouTube viewing journey.
I would say my viewing behavior is actually very different on TV. I'm not sitting down looking for the 20-minute episode from the creator that I know. I'm actually looking for the shorter video from the creator I've never seen before.
Really?
Yeah.
I will say when I'm on TV, I get recommended a lot more creators that I haven't know. Shout out Daniel Chu. Shout out fucking Impulsivity. I found them through the TV, bro. They're great. I love that shit. But yeah, when I'm on TV, I'm looking for stuff. I'm a looker, but I'll browse a TV channel all day, every day. But that's just me.
I'm actually really moving around, and I think I am now being served. I've been telling you, I've been watching more new creators than ever on TV because I'm finding creators who are making like 6 to 8 minute videos. And I enjoy that feeling of switching from moment to moment. If I want 20 to 30 minutes, I'm still reserving that actually for Netflix, Hulu, HBO.
See, I'm not doing that. I disagree. I don't think people are watching 6 to 8 minute YouTube videos. Like, my analytics say that. They're not watching short little videos. I am, though, saving days to watch, like, Netflix or something. But I'm watching, like, a season at a time. Whereas YouTube, I'm appointment viewing. I'm watching Reddit stories from Smosh every single Saturday. I'm doing that. I'm showing up for that. So I agree with Sabir.
Like that to me is a different co-viewing experience with my wife than if I'm solo traveling throughout
Should
YouTube.
we get
Are
some,
you advising clients
should we get some-
against
should we get
the
some
12-minute video?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That dude. All right, and we're back.
It's one of those things. It's always
Sorry,
hard
guys?
to just say this. You know, some pieces of content deserve to be short. You
Sure.
know, but I think my take is usually that if there's a choice
Sitting all
between like
cross-legged in
making
his shirt
a great
with a little
12-minute
blankie
video
on.
or a great 24-minute video, if they're both great, I will make the great 24-minute video.
Yeah.
I know that sounds obvious, but it's one of those things. It's like because of these trends that we're talking about, because of even some of the things you're mentioning there, like, and to go on to that point a little bit more, I think it's really interesting to think about wanting to make videos that someone sees on their phone and then says, I'm not watching this until I sit in front of the TV. I actually have a playlist on one of my YouTube.
No, I do that sometimes too. Like if it gets a little too intense or stuff is going on, I'll be like, hold on, I had to push this to my phone. And that cast to screen button, greatest fucking feature of YouTube. I can do that on my PlayStation, Xbox, computer, every fucking thing. It's great. I love that shit, bro. I really love that shit. Yeah, let's go.
Accounts, which is like watch on TV. And I see a video and it's like, if I had never seen the video
How's the
before and I
mic?
saw it on my phone,
How's the mic?
I think I'd be like,
Mic's
wow,
good?
look at this, you know, monster video with this crazy feat. This doesn't deserve to be consumed, you know, on a 6-inch screen. I
Yeah.
should put this
Agree.
on
Agree.
a, you know, 50-inch screen in my living room.
I also
I'm not watching an Alvin Zhao film on my phone. That's a disservice. We're going to watch one of my favorite YouTube videos later because that shit is beautiful. That is a disservice to watch some of those videos on your phone. I agree. I'll save it for later.
think creators are starting to brand their thumbnails in a way that messages to you that it should be watched on a TV, in a way that feels like a film. We spoke about listers before, but when you look at the thumbnail for listers, the doc about bird watching, it looks like it's
Oh.
being submitted to a film festival.
Yeah.
There's another one called Extreme Beachcombing. Have you seen the thumbnail for that?
No.
And the graphic design, you know, I think it shows like awards and like credits on the
Oh,
thumbnail,
shit.
which implies like I'm not watching that on my phone.
Yeah,
It's 20
yeah.
plus minutes. It's asking you to watch on the.
For sure. Those thumbnails are edited that way so that you're like, oh, this is a serious film. This is filmed in 4K. This is production value. Yeah, I agree. That I wouldn't watch that on my phone. I'd be like, I'll put that in my save for later.
TV.
So part of this question of permission, or this topic of permission for creators, there's been a lot of discussion about the new homepage layout. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
So you know,
Are
basically
you
when you
familiar
open up
with this?
YouTube
Whole
now
job
on
is YouTube.
desktop, on TV, even on mobile, when you open up YouTube, there's a lot less space for long form videos.
Bro, I'ma fucking hate this short shit. Do not recommend me shorts on a TV or computer, bro. Shorts is strictly scrolling activity. I am not like, just never show me a short. I don't care. I've never had TikTok and I never will.
Because that space has been consumed by short form videos.
Yeah.
And even when you look at like opening up on desktop, it's typically
Damn, I need
2
more
long form
dairy.
videos and then an ad as the first, and then a shorts block. That's a lot less real estate
Yep.
A
to getting
lot.
long form video in front of people. And I think, to quote you,
YouTube is changing the way they count their views too. There, as soon as you click on a thing, it's a view automatically.
from our last episode, you know, YouTube is a click and watch platform. There's actually not that many long form videos to click on, right, when you open up YouTube. And the suggestion is to dive into shorts. How it
Hang on, let's test that for ourselves. I want to see how it looks. Just a fresh YouTube page. Well, mine is all long, but hang on. Let's go incognito. No profile influencing it. Huh. That is weird. So YouTube, that's interesting. It won't even try to give me.
You've been through a lot, let me.
Okay, that was crazy. So it won't give me a long-term video off rip, but if I click
Which one did it
shorts,
best?
I got this.
it's gonna give me some absolute brain rot bullshit on here, bro. That's crazy. Okay, now that I watched approximately 3 seconds of a short, not even, this is what it's giving me. Like you said, an ad, how to do your GED, and who's my daughter's best friend. And with a bunch of fucking bullshit, bro. And then you keep having to scroll, and then it's 3 more videos. No, it's 2 more videos, and then another sponsor, and then 5 more shorts. Yeah, no, that's fucking awful. Okay. Back to the video. Where are you at?
is the emerging creator getting affected by the limited
my
amount
God,
of real
this
estate,
is
the
gonna be
high switching
so-
cost?
So I think there's a really big
AI
distinction between
viewers.
like the
I don't
homepage
want
layout
AI. I want
and
people
then
that come in
when
here
a viewer is
and have
actually
fun.
in a
That's
watch
it.
session.
No AI. Who wants AI viewers? This is for fun. If I'm not having fun, what's the point?
Right? It's almost like the homepage layout is like, what do you want today? Like, what do you want right now? And yeah, look, there's less real estate than there was before. And I think the natural reaction is that's kind of scary because, you know, a lot of us built our careers on long form. That's how I built my career. That's how you guys have built your career. So it's kind of scary to think that we're going to just be in a situation where, you know, our shelf space is declining when short form shelf space is increasing. But
Yeah.
at least when I look at the data and look at our accelerator, we're working with hundreds of students, like you mentioned, a year. I think the actual change between like,
That
you know,
wasn't
it's still so new,
drugs,
so we're
kids.
still like looking at this.
I'm lactose
I'm not seeing
intolerant
too
and
much
want
of a
to drink this chocolate milk. That's it.
decline in viewership across the channels we work with, to be honest. What I am seeing is like an increase in average view duration because of some of these things we talked about. Like there's another graph which I can show you
Oh shit.
in just a second,
got
which
two
shows
vi-
that
we
over
got two
time as well.
followers.
But
We gotta update. We gotta update this. Update. 2 out of 5, buddies. Let's go. Woo, 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 woo. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. 2 out of 5. Let's go, buddies. Thank you. Thank you.
it's almost
All
like
right.
because of the length situation, sometimes I almost look at it as like clicks are still really important, especially if you have less real estate, but it's more about when someone does click, are they staying with you for longer? So there might be less real estate, but when people click, they're staying with those viewers for longer. And I always think it was interesting because when Shorts was first introduced,
Sweet Cheesecake. That's a fucking lit name. I'm doing great. We're watching about the new rules in the state of YouTube in 2021 by Colin and Samir. They're great. They're OG YouTubers, bro. They know what the fuck they're talking about. They talk about creators all the time, and we're watching. We're learning about YouTube because that's what I'm trying to do.
talking to you about this point off air, it's like
Appreciate
there was
it.
a lot of panic around this is going to nuke people's attention span. You know, no one's going to watch long form anymore. People are going to watch for less. The attention span of the youth today is going to fall through the, you know, it's going to.
It has. It has. This is my first stream. We're just having fun. I've made a few YouTube videos under the same name, but I thought I'd try streaming. Just do a couple reacts. Hang out. But I do agree that shorts have absolutely nuked people's attention span, bro. That's why Netflix shows have to be like, my name's Tough. I'm the metal bender. You're like, bruh, because people are watching their phones while watching TVs. It has nuked people's attention span completely.
Creator, all this stuff. And, you know, we're sitting here 3 years later after Shorts was introduced, and you know, all of our clients, the average view duration has gone up. Like people.
That's because shorts haven't taken off on YouTube. But look at TikTok. Do you play any games? Yeah, I think about playing a game at the towards the end of the stream. I'll play whatever games. I'm just not rich. But I'll play games. Currently I'm playing Luigi Mansion 2 again on the Switch, having a blast. But other than that, I'm in between games right now. Sometimes I finish a story game and it's just I need a break.
Longer. So
I think the last game I played though was the Duck Detective, and that's on my YouTube. That was okay.
I am a little bit worried about the real estate.
So when will you play any games on stream? I have a game loaded up to play later, but I wanted to get through this first and then play it in a little bit. But we'll see how much we get through with the reacts and how I'm feeling. Oh yeah. I'm just warming up, seeing how it goes, getting comfortable with the mic and whatnot. I appreciate you watching, though. I know people would love to support that, but people love reacts too.
About how much space long form is getting there, but I do think the amount of times you open a homepage on YouTube, it's different to being in a session, right? Like it's almost like you open it up and you're like, what do you want today? Do you want shorts? Do you want long form? When you start watching long form, you're suggested are long forms. You're still gonna get some shorts. But you're getting long form suggestions beside you, and you're in this kind of watch session. But I haven't seen any material difference in viewership to the clients we work with just yet.
So let's take a look at the AVD graph.
Yeah. If you look at the difference between 2021 to 2025, and we took a number of our biggest clients and some students that have gone through the
average view duration. Yeah, but if, like they said earlier, you've doubled the length of it, so you've almost doubled the views. That just makes sense.
Accelerator that shared their data with us, 77% increase in average view duration on long form over the last 4 years, which is pretty significant. Like that's a meaningful change from 4 minutes 35 to 8 minutes. So I don't know exactly how this ties into this like layout situation, but the way
we're back again.
Look at it is like, well, when someone does make that decision, they're staying for longer because YouTubers are making longer, better videos than they were 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, to me, this is all about the switching cost. We used to switch a lot from video to video to video to creator to creator to creator. My behavior is not that anymore. I will settle into a video much easier now. And
yeah, but that guy's, you're also like 40, Colin, bro. Like, or Samir, you're also 40 years old, bro. Like, of course, you're more apt to not change. But if I don't like a view, after about the first 20, 30 seconds, I'll switch.
I'll likely settle into a channel, which maybe I'm unique in that, but that is how I operate now.
Okay. And, you know, we know how many people now are starting to think about their channel as like shows, right? Obviously, the obvious example is someone like the amazing Michelle Carey with Challenge Accepted. Do you know Sam Alcon?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was just here.
Yeah. So he went through our accelerator. You know, he's making his own series, you know, which is based.
No one could afford to do this, bro. Like, when people do this shit, no normal person could walk up to someone and be like, hey, bro, I want to fly a plane for a YouTube video at the edge of space. Like, that's just not feasible for 99.9% of people. Same thing with, like, what Michelle Carrera does. It's just like, these people getting these views are no longer YouTubers, tubers. They're production YouTubers. They have teams that support everything. Like, this dude probably never edited a video in his life.
Basically, his like touring around the different military and military equipment.
Access granted.
We actually had someone through our accelerator. I'll show you here, and she posted this video, which is titled "Shredded at 72: The Simple Routine Behind His Insane Strength." First of all, great thumbnail. I'm so proud of her for how well she did with that thumbnail. But if you look at a show like that,
YouTube is
she calls it
so
human.
weird,
It's a
bro.
longevity
Great thumbnail. Just two dudes hanging out of the gym. Who's buff? Who's shiny too? Okay. I was like, YouTube is so weird.
show. And she's thinking about this, and she's a small creator. Sierra's thinking about that. She's like, I'm making a show. I'm looking at Michelle Carey. I'm looking at these people. I'm making a show for my channel.
Yeah.
Because of exactly what we're talking about. When people start being...
I agree with that too. Like, I make series on my YouTube channel, like a cooking series, a D&D series, an anime series. Like, I think of them as different iterations. Like, it's like Monster of the Week for me, basically. Like, I'm just like, oh, this is my topic of the week, and I go for it.
A channel, there's multiple videos they want to watch in a row. They're 20 minutes, they're 30 minutes.
Amen.
I think her situation is less about worrying about the homepage layout and more worrying about, like, when I have someone in the door,
yeah, when someone's
can
here,
they watch
they stay.
multiple of this format?
Yeah, I think continuing to center this conversation around permission is a really important one, because we're all trying to gain permission. And I'm wondering across your clients, like, and even what you're seeing, how you're evaluating views versus returning views.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one, because I've actually got a kind of a cool little printout to show you here.
Well, you got a ton
Bro,
of
just
printouts,
got a
man.
whole stack
That's
of
not surprising at all.
paper,
You
dude.
acted like that was surprising. You're like, you wouldn't believe it. I have a printout.
This might be familiar to you guys.
That is familiar.
Oof, yeah. If you don't know about Colin and Samir, their house burned down. Both of their houses burnt down in the Palisades fire, and they both had kids on the way at the same time. Crazy shit.
Sad guys with yellow mind.
I want to bring this one up because we talked about it on the last podcast. You called me the view maximizer, right?
Yeah.
I thought this was a good.
My job is to
good
grow
thumbnail.
channels' views. That's what I do, and that's what my team does. But I do think we kind of reached a point, I think even the biggest creators would admit this as well, where we all got so obsessed with just maximizing views that we kind of forgot how important a returning viewer is and how important, building a relationship with your audience is. And I think you've got like the stats on this, but I think you mentioned like
We got 2
80% of this
followers,
is
bro. I
subscribers,
see
because your
2
typical
of y'all
episode
in
is
there.
much less.
Much less.
I see 2 people in the chat. Give me 2 more, and I'd be 1 away from my follower count today. I see y'all. Come on, give me 1.
Mm-hmm. Especially
Please.
if an episode, does get caught a bit by the algorithm, does scale to
Okay,
500,000,
I'll
a
shotgun
million
this
views,
Red
then
Bull if I
obviously
get my
we're
whole
reaching a lot
follower
of new
count
people.
right now.
So I have this analogy I use for this, because I think creators got into this like super kind of dangerous mindset of being terrified of experimenting, terrified of doing a video that was for them and their audience, as opposed to like the biggest possible video. And I understand it. And I think, at times I've probably been one of the people pushing that agenda of my focus. But I've always said there's this analogy where it's like, if you have, let's just use a soccer analogy. Like if you have a striker and he's scoring, 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row, and then he has a game where he doesn't score, he might still play well, but he doesn't score. You're not going to immediately bench that player and say you're never playing again. And I think the YouTube algorithm is quite similar. And people get so afraid of it, thinking that it's going to punish me for trying something, or it's going to relegate me to the dungeons of no views. And it's like...
And also that performance from that player could have been potentially more valuable if you're to look at like the game tape, quote unquote, to see like...
People are like, bro, you see this all the time when someone gets big. They get big off one thing when they were doing plenty of other things, and then they just keep hammering that shit home. It's like, bro, you're not just the cooking guy. You're not just the makeup girl. Like, you're a big diverse person. It's okay to experiment. It's okay to like have flops, bro. But I get what they're saying because the YouTube algorithm is so fucked up. Yes, I play games, buddy. We're just doing reacts right now because I'm interested in like how YouTube is really changing coming in the next year. Yeah, of course. But I'm just really interested in how YouTube's changing next year. I do a little YouTube just for fun, and it's just like fun to learn about. I don't know. I'm just a fucking nerd. So what games do I like? It depends. Like I love a good story game, but I'm also toxic and will play like fucking Overwatch and Apex and any multiplayer online game pretty much besides Call of Duty. And I'm toxic like that. I love a puzzle game. I love a detective game. I'll play anything that looks interesting, man. Anything. I played an indie game because this guy that like lives 3 blocks from me said I made a game called Arctic Awake. It was really like Firewatch. It was pretty good. It was like okay. Like if Firewatch is like a 9, this was like a 7.2. I'll play anything. If there's anything you like want. Oh yeah. Overwatch kind of pissed me off with Overwatch 2. I've never played Valorant. I didn't have a console or like a play or like a PC for a long time, so I couldn't play for a while. But I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Back. You also do art for streamers. Oh, that's pretty dope. But my partner is literally an artist for a living, so but I'd be more than willing to like look at your shit if you have anything for like sale or you do like prints or anything. You're more than willing to like drop the chat. Yeah,
Did
if
that
it's
person
something cool.
and maybe not make an assist, but like the second assist? Like how much work did that player actually do during that game to win?
Exactly. So I think it is a bit of a trend I'm seeing where I think, not to say that being still very like
I don't have
strategic
an
with what you make isn't
Instagram.
important, but I think every channel, like if you want to make a video every 1 in 4, 1 in 5, where it's like, look, this is not something that's like following all the rules of YouTube and being the most optimized tile thumbnail, but it's a video that we want to make. And I watched this video and
I do
I
not
thought
have
I knew you
Discord
guys
because
better
I'm
after
not
watching it. I was
doing
like, wow,
ID
that was really cool. That was honest. That
verification.
was vulnerable. And, you know, I think that relationship is very important to create.
I think one thing I will say about this video that was very different for us is it was something we couldn't not make.
Mm.
Does that make sense? Like we had no choice but to
I
make
was
this
like,
video.
if you have Immer or if you have a Reddit, I can check you out there. But other than that, I really try to keep it low key with social media. I just like to stream for fun. This sounds like a good idea. Same thing with YouTube.
Yeah, this video was like a therapeutic video, and we just it was an honest thing we had to say.
Mm-hmm.
There's no strategy
Yeah,
behind
this
it.
was the
There's
least strategic thing we did last.
There's no business case behind this. It's just we had to say something, and I think we are entering this era of YouTube, which I have continued.
I think YouTube videos coming from a I had to say something place are the best YouTube videos. Cause like whenever I feel like I'm like really hyped, like I need to make this video, it does the best. Like, bro, my first YouTube video, I just had to put up the theory that fucking Kawaki from Baruto is actually a Senju because of his weird hair, because that's how Hashirama's brothers had it. And I just had to make a video because I was like, I just have to tell people this. Like, no one in my life cares about this shit. I have to tell other people. So YouTube videos coming from a I have to tell people this place, always awesome, I think. Because it's just like, same thing with the post office. I feel like it didn't perform, but I love the fucking post office, and I think that shit is cool. For no reason. That's a
Need to
touch
call
of
the abundance
autism.
era. 20 million videos are uploaded to YouTube every single day.
Yo.
Every video that I think about is probably being made right now. That is like a strategic video.
Yeah.
Right? Every video is being made. And it's either being made by another creator, or it's made by AI, or it's made by someone prompting.
Yeah.
It's made by somebody is making that right now. So the only thing you can think about or should think about
Yes.
is like, what's my thing to say?
Yeah. I totally agree. Like, you're making a YouTube video to be the you with your take, bro. Like, just, it's your razzle dazzle.
What do I actually have to say? Because hopefully you find a unique perspective that only you could share. Now, the scary thing about sharing your own unique perspective and your own honesty is that what if nobody cares? What
Yeah.
if nobody watches? And then I think we have to go back and go, when you make a video that's very honest and personal, it is insane that 120,000 people watched it.
Yeah.
It is insane. Like, that's just us
It's
saying something about our
potentially one of the
life.
most incredible things that
Bro, I think 40 people watching YouTube, that's like, think of 40 people in a room. That's like twice as big as a classroom usually that you like go to school with. That's a lot of people like hearing you talk about how to make cream puffs.
it's ever happened
Yeah.
to us. Like if you really think
Yeah.
about our entire lives, like that we just said something extremely niche about who we are as people, and 120,000 people watched it in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
I also
I
want to ask you
watched
this
it.
question
I
because
was
I've been
one of them.
having this conversation a lot about what is a lot of views now. You know what I mean? Like, what is a lot of views? Like, if we're looking at this world where there's more content than ever, people are.
What do y'all think a lot of views is? I think a lot of views. I'm gonna still say a lot of views. The bar is 1 million. That's a lot of views. But they're regular. What's up? I was like, a lot of views? Like, what do you think a lot of views is? It's going good. We're just talking about YouTube and, like, the ins and outs of it. But what do you think is a lot of views on a YouTube video? Like, you personally. Because I think, I think 1 million is a lot. But if someone has 100,000 on the views, I think that's a lot too. But I don't know. What's a lot when Mr. Beast gets 350? My voice is low? I was like, I'm looking at my audio right here and it's in the mid greens. Like, I mean, yeah, we could put some graphic stuff later. You don't see my little follower go like that? Hey man, if we're trying to sell stuff, you can just leave. Like, for real skis. I don't need any of that. This is for fun.
Are settling into channels more. Like, what are we as a community optimizing for? What's a lot of views? What's a big audience? What's the success metric?
If you're a small creator, I always say, like, if you're breaking 50 or 100,000 views on a long form video, you're in the top 0.01%.
Yeah, it's like 100,000 is a lot of
to me still a big number.
views.
And it's something that just feels like when you get past 50, just feels like, oh,
I made
that's
it.
like
That's a lot of
quite
people. That's a stadium full of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this conversation gets really like interesting because of how much.
But I think it's like TikTok, bro. The TikTokonomics of it all is just like 50 million views on TikTok ain't shit, dude. Like, that, it's crazy because you can just like sit there, bro, and just like watch that same shit over and over again. Probably rack up a few views.
Almost like because of view maximizing, right? And because of even like dubbing and like international audiences, it's like sometimes it's hard to look at a video on the surface and be like, is this good just because it has a lot of views? Like,
Yeah.
I think,
What
in my
up,
opinion, like 3 or 4
cheesecake?
years ago, when you saw a 20 million view video, you were like, whoa.
Bro,
Like, that
20
feels
million
rare.
views is
I
crazy.
see 20 million view videos all the time.
Oh, that's
You know,
fine.
and we've
Don't
worked on them.
apologize
Like, we
to
just
me.
showed a 31 million view video from a client. We've, so many videos that we worked on
No,
this
the
year
fact
that
that
passed 10 million
have
views with
y'all
clients.
have you seen this YouTube video? Like, this video is nuts. Like, but 38 million views is a lot, but it's a lot because it's Red Bull.
It feels like that's happening more and more. So yeah, the kind of idea of what is a high view count is kind of weird now. One thing I think
You have seen this music? You have seen that video? That's so funny. Me too, man. Me too. It's a good video, but it is just like the pacing of the video that would not have worked 5 years ago.
is
That's
true,
what you
though,
were
is
saying
like
earlier.
satisfaction. We talked about that a little bit last time. Satisfaction as a metric. YouTube don't give us that metric, so therefore we don't track it, and we don't measure it, and we don't judge by it. I bet you the satisfaction for that video, even though you maybe didn't teach people lots of things or whatever, I bet you the satisfaction for that was high because viewers were like, oh, wow, I feel like I actually got to know Colin and Samir.
Oh
you know?
yeah, Colin Samir
So
dope as shit.
I think about this a lot with our clients, not only like view counts, I think about it as like, what does this say about us? What does it say about the brand? Like, I love when, we might make a video with Rebel and the comments are all like, only Red Bull could do this. And there's that kind of real like feeling around
the
the
US,
thing.
yeah.
That can feel bigger than just like a huge view count.
I think public view counts are becoming irrelevant for the reason that you just said. Like when you see a 20 million view video now, you've seen it a million times. We got a short with 44 million views. I think 120,000 views on this video that we made. I don't think it matters. I don't think it played into the decision for a lot of people
Probably
to click
not.
and watch. Considering
Sunday
it's
is like
majority
for real my
subscribers for
only
us.
off day.
For me, actually, maybe this
Who
is
knows when I'll
so
stream again? To
counter,
be honest,
but I am turned off
because I
by a
still
20
can't even
view
get the
video.
chat on the screen,
Like,
and I
I'm
know
hesitant.
I can't even get the chat on the screen, and I don't know why. I have the extension, I have the browser set up, I have the link and everything. It just won't go. I've tried everything. I've undownloaded yada yada, but I just thought this would be a fun Saturday, and I'll just upload this to my YouTube channel today because I'm trying to like do a channel a week. I was like, I've tried so many times, and I've tried with 3 different things. It's just like something's going on in OBS. I don't know what it is, but I cannot get the chat overlay to import no matter what. Like it gives me the box, but it's not there.
To click on it because I'm concerned at what made it so. Like, why is this so mass appeal?
Traditionally, I would have always thought that YouTube needs to hold on to public viewership. But now the more that these videos are being watched on TV and it feels more like Netflix where viewership is not public, I'm starting to sway towards maybe YouTube should get rid of public viewership. Maybe it doesn't matter.
Well, that made me feel a little bit
Patty's about to throw up.
Queasy, yeah, bro.
But
His whole company is view maxing,
talk
man.
about
What
it.
is
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me what you think.
So I think from my perspective, the reason that would make me nervous is just because of how much I use that to understand trends and what is the signal, basically.
Patty, I'm trying to put you out of business. Okay. Patty's like,
Oh no.
So that's interesting. Expand on that.
Yeah.
That you.
Yeah, I was like, but you don't need public view counts to measure success. Like you'll still have the same view count. I don't know.
views to understand the signal.
Yeah.
And I want to contrast that with, now we're starting to talk about YouTube on TV,
Like,
but
you
the
can
implications for
suggest
the
whatever.
future. With YouTube on TV, it's starting to feel more like a Netflix or another streamer. There's different signals for that than views. We actually oftentimes don't know with those. So let's talk about like signals of trends and what the implications are for the future. The fact that that graph is probably
you
only
don't
going
like
up in terms of.
You don't like my Trixie Mattel eggs profile? I thought that shit was lit. I think it's funny. Presentation doesn't matter to me.
YouTube being watched on TV.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. I think it's
I'm streaming on a tin can, bro. Like this shit, I don't even know if it's 1080p. I don't need professional anything.
one of those things. It is hard to measure, but when we think about that video we showed a while ago from Red Bull, like I think something I noticed with that video, and I don't know if you noticed this, but you said that like so many of your friends were like telling you about this video, right?
and that's why I watched it.
And that's why you watched it.
Similarly to if there's a show on Netflix I need to watch.
Right.
There's so many 20, 30 million view videos that have been uploaded in the last year that none of us have seen. And no one's ever talked about. They've just, gone into the ether. Like, what was that? There's some videos though that seem to just get this.
Bro, Nick DiGiovanni's entire fucking channel, bro. Didn't even know he had a channel, knew him from cheating on MasterChef, and that was it. Like, and then I was like, oh, he has a YouTube channel? Oh, it's probably small. Clicked on a video, it has like 50 million views, bro. I'm like, from where, bro? Mr. Beast, bro, straight up, it was probably 2022, 2020, yeah. 2022, 2023, before I ever even heard of Mr. Beast, and he was already having like 150 million view channels. Never seen a video, never been recommended one. I was like, that's wild.
It's kind of public discourse.
I still have I've only been recommended 2 Mr. Beast videos ever on my algorithm. It's absolutely nuts. I don't get it.
Around, and it's very similar to when there's a Netflix show or whatever. It's like, my mother's calling me saying, "Have you seen this Squid Game thing? A few years ago, it's insane. I can't believe it." I'm like,
Yeah,
that-
viewership and cultural relevance are two totally different things.
yes, and it's all about that kind of like regrettable watch time versus like watch time that makes you feel, wow, I just spent time doing something or watching something that was
Regrettable
really
watch
special.
time?
I don't want to
What
make
the
too much
fuck?
of a big prediction, but I really think as we look at some of the data we've shown, some of the examples we've shown, like you can't get away with just a great title and thumbnail with no substance anymore. And I feel like you maybe could 2 or 3 years ago. And I'm sure people will hear this and disagree because they're like, I just watched a video and it was terrible, but
But substance is subjective.
yeah.
It's a bit subjective.
Mhm.
I want to know what you think about public viewership.
No, some people really have like optimized titles and thumbnails so much, but like their video is crap, and they're just like, I'm just trying to get the click. They don't care about the retention. They don't care about the click. They're trying to get the click.
So I like it from a trend point of view of being able to, from a strategist perspective, of being the person who gets channels more views. I like to look at it and say, that gives me some signal of what's working. But I think, and this speaks to all of our point, that signal has weakened over the last year, 2 years, because of, a lot of things like dubbing and things like that. And the international views aren't still really important. They are. But, there could be the same video and one video has dubbing and one video doesn't. And the video with dubbing has 4 times the views. So you might intuitively be like, that's a better video or that's like a more popular video. But it's like, well, it's just because the other one didn't have dubbing. It depends what you're optimizing for. Like if I'm selling a product in America, views overseas aren't as important to me as, English speaking views in America. So I think it matters a little bit about what you're optimizing for, but I look at the views for a lot of signal in that sense. And I think taking that away, I think people will find out other ways to find like formats and what's working, but we are in this interesting stage. Like one of the other points I was going to bring up,
forgot
that's
what they were
actually
talking
another
about.
video, which I'll show you here. So we got this one here. Atheist goes to Christian church for the first time. So this was someone who went through one of our accelerator cohorts last year. And at the time I joined the cohort was like a 3, 4, 5,000 subscriber channel. And then throughout the cohort, they were able to ideate this with my team, came up with this format, which I think is really interesting. Like, there's so many reasons that's viral, like just kind of classic, interesting story you have to click to answer. The point I was going to make here is this video was made. And I remember telling this creator, and I remember my team telling this creator, you've got to keep digging. You've struck gold, keep digging. And over the course of the next 6 months, this video is basically remade with different churches, with, different situations, different religions. And I think the reason that happens, this is to tie us all together
but
here,
like you
is
don't want to
because of
get
public view counts.
stuck doing the same format over and over again. Blank does blank. Boring.
Because
Whatever.
everyone else seeing, damn, that video did really well for that small channel.
Yeah.
Let me double down on it really quickly and let's steal it or let's, adapt it for my
You're
channel.
saying other channels made it.
No, he made it.
Oh,
but
he made it.
The reason he made it is because of the point I was saying to him, which was like, hey, channels are going to double down really quickly on your stuff. And there's this sort of talking point creators used to have, which is like, I don't want to over milk something, which I think is very valid and fair. But I always make the talking point of if you don't milk something, someone else will. And like someone else will double down on this format and get the sort of growth and success from it. So,
But wouldn't it be better if the viewership wasn't public because less people would double down on his idea?
yeah.
And he still would get all the data that he needs to make the decision to make this again. He'd still have viewership. He'd have average view duration, click-through rate, all the things that we care about, returning subscribers versus new viewers.
Oh
He'd still
yeah, they're
have all
talking
that data
about
for himself.
It might actually award
should you have public view
originality more.
counts?
Yeah.
It would definitely create more originality.
Yeah.
Because
It would
I think
definitely
it would
create
play
more
a lot
originality.
into the audience's decision making.
I actually
Here's my pitch.
disagree. Like I personally, I won't click a video if it has too few views. That's a problem for me.
Yeah, yeah.
When I saw
Yeah,
YouTube
I
will
think
send
that's
you
a problem
video
for
which
me
has
If
too.
you
like,
were too high,
has
I
like
will-
240 views, and I'm like, that's YouTube trying to just
Yeah.
slot someone in here. I'm not interested in that. But anything above like 10 to 20,000 in that range, I'm like, I'm game. Does not matter to me if it has 10 or
It
20,000.
would
if it has
help
50 million.
smaller
So I think
creators
the other
not
thing about
knowing.
public viewership too, and optimizing for
Who-
views. I think what
It would help smaller creators if the view count was hidden. Because, yeah, like he's right. It's really hard to click on a 10 view video, bro. Like, because you're like, do I want to spend the time to watch this? But sometimes, absolutely fire. I watched one the other day that only had like 400 views, and I was like, shit is gas.
What you said is correct. It's like, what are we optimizing for as YouTube creators? Because, you know, I only
Views! That's
saw
what
this
y'all are
because you tweeted about
optimizing
this.
for.
This never
Views.
came across my feed.
Mhm.
This is a successful series, but there's this other conversation around cultural relevance and brand relevance. You mentioned Michelle Khare. Michelle Khare is very relevant to the YouTube ecosystem. Sean Evans, even more relevant to the broader cultural ecosystem.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of
People on the
times,
street know
even if we
Sean
look
Evans,
back
but
at
not
like
Michelle
Casey Neistat
Khare.
in his heyday, his viewership was amazing at that time for what he was doing.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it
and
wasn't astronomical.
PewDiePie?
It wasn't.
No one
Ryan
knows who
Trahan
PewDiePie is.
perfect.
100 million
But
viewers.
I think sometimes as creators right now, you know, optimizing purely for views is a dangerous game because you might get lost in the cultural relevance conversation. And to have cultural relevance is like, what is my story beyond views? So like Sam Eckham's a great example. He's an awesome creator. I would bet a lot of people right now are hearing about him for the first time. How does he get elevated into the broader cultural relevance conversation? He makes stuff like Cleo Abram makes somewhat similar stuff to him, or they're in the same category. Like he could be in the broader conversation.
You know what I just thought about when you were saying that, which I think is it's made me think of such an interesting point. I'm not going to name the creator, but I was on a call with a creator a few months ago
Okay.
with, I'm just going to say between 50 and 100 million subscribers. So one of the
Wow.
biggest creators in the world.
Okay.
And this creator gets lots of views, you know, very well known, huge audience. Kind of talking to me about like, look, I've noticed that like, you know, I'm not converting as well as I want when I sell things. I want to kind of build a better connection with my audience. I don't think I have that. He's kind of solved the viral equation, but he hasn't solved the broader thing. And, you know, I'd watched a few of his videos beforehand, and I was like, these were good videos. They were well made and whatnot. I was just sort of asking him a bit about himself at the start of the call, just like friendly, not even trying to figure anything else. And he's like, you know, I did this, you know, I dropped out of school to do YouTube when I was 15. It was a huge risk. It was all these things, blah, blah, blah.
Who do we think that is?
Like,
50 to
admirable,
100
like, that
million
took a lot
viewers
of guts
dropped out of
and, you know,
school at
what a
15 to
story.
do
And, you know, he's
YouTube.
telling me of his story, and he's just like such a interesting.
Is it Jinxie? Let's look. Nah. He's live though. Hey, Jinxie, W Jinxie.
Likable young creator. And then I was like, does your audience know that? And he goes, no. I'm like, why? Like almost that personal connection. I feel like sometimes we just get so caught up in this like optimized, quick, viral, everything perfect. People watch humans at the end of the day. And I think like when
We're
when
watching
the
YouTube because we
ability
think
to
you're
make
interesting.
big spectacle videos has been democratized to a certain degree. Like,
Yeah.
I think personality just takes over. That's why people like Ryan, people like Michelle, I think have that culture relevance.
Personality, yeah.
And I
It
was
is
actually just
really
saying to my
the
friend,
people who are big
just on a phone call,
are personality. Even if they don't have the most views in the world, they're like big. Like fucking like Caleb Huron, Brittany Broski, like Danny Gonzalez, Drew Gooden, Curtis Connor, like they're big in the YouTube culture, bro. But it's not like they have like hundreds of millions of views, bro. Not like a Mr. Beast or anything T Series or the Sidemen, whatever. They're just vibing, but people fuck with them more.
call earlier, and we were just talking about, you know, this podcast and, you know, some of the things we might talk about. And I was just saying, you know, if you flash back to like what 2018, 2019, Mr. Beast made a video. I think it was cutting a table in half with a
plastic knife. Yeah.
So I was just joking. I was like, if a kid did that today, he would spend 2 weeks cutting his table in half, you know, destroy his life and get 5 views.
No.
Because I don't think anyone would really care. It's
Yeah.
like, that doesn't feel like the sort of video that would work right now. We're just in a different meta, different world.
I want to talk about also a format versus a show. When you've pushed people to build a show, or how much you're pushing people to say build a show. Because something that I look at on YouTube right now is that with more viewership on television, with more of what I just said, that you need some element of a brand story beyond viewership, having the casing of a show is a great way to do that. Hot Ones is obviously the leading example, but we're seeing this more recently with, you know, Drewski has his dating show, Could Have Been Love, and it's a show. Quinlan Blackwell has Feeding Starving Celebrities. That's a show. Speed launched Speed Goes Pro. That's a show. Even when he goes and does like live streams in Africa, he makes it a point.
Hey, yo, I have never heard of those ever. I am not on that side of YouTube.
Viewing, he makes it a thing. And I think that's the only way for creators to cross that threshold of cultural relevance now is making your thing a thing and
Making your thing a
Using
thing.
this creator, Evan, as an example.
Make your
This
thing a
video,
thing.
Atheist Goes to Christian Church for the first time. That's a format that he replicated again and again. And if I find that video algorithmically or in a vacuum, I'm like, this guy makes videos. This is a video he made. But if that has an intro and it's called like Finding Meaning, and there's a show logo, and this guy's whole purpose
That has some
is
production, feels
finding
more
meaning
real.
in his life, yeah.
in his life, then I am more inclined
That's what the Try
probably
Guys
to
do.
go look for
Yeah.
the next episode and to remember the next episode and to see him as someone different than just, this is a kid making videos about religion.
And maybe that doesn't have to change in the packaging as much as just like intro, the style, how it's made.
Title graphic.
Because I think you start with a format. I think it starts as a format and then it goes
Yeah.
into something. Like I even think,
I
I
agree.
don't know all of like Michelle Carey's story, but I'm pretty sure it would have started with like, oh, this is my format. I try things. I try this thing. And then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, there's actually a show here. And before you know it, there's like a name and there's a,
Yeah.
you know, you're looking forward to every episode and whatnot. And a big distinction I always make
I
is
get
like,
it, I
it's
get it,
Top
I
Gear,
get
not
it.
Breaking Bad.
Schmott,
You know, it's
schmott,
not
schmott.
necessarily like a ongoing deep narrative as much as it is individual episodes that have a format. So they kind of become the same thing. And there's actually another example of this I'll show really quickly. This is a fascinating example. This is a channel, Golden Kobe Family, a dog channel, went through our accelerator in 2024.
8.1 million views on a dog meeting another dog. That's crazy.
I think with 11,000 subscribers at the time of joining. Now I think close to 1 million, if not over 1 million. And he had this video, Golden Retriever meets his new sister, puppy sister for the first time, because he just adopted this new Doberman. And I saw that and I was like, you should do that again.
They are dubbing the dog. I bet this does numbers on Facebook. I bet this does numbers on Facebook. Triple platinum over there, bro. I teach you everything. Triple
So he
platinum.
did a video which was like first week together. And then I remember him making this point of saying this thing, which was like, okay, well, that's done well twice now. And it did great. It got over 2 million views during the cohort. I remember it went viral during the cohort, which was such a wild experience. But I remember him saying, well, you know, that's that done then, you know, because naturally
You're
you can't
not
get a
getting
new
another
every
dog.
week unless you're unethical, right? You're not going to just adopt a new puppy every week, like just to make content. But I was like, no, you're thinking too literally. Like, I think the format is dog meets
dog.
like, vulnerable other dog. That's kind of the format. Like, oh, just like an innocent little puppy, your dog meeting it, the interaction. So this creator now, their entire channel has been built around this format. Like Golden Retriever meets completely shut down rescue for the first time. Like
This
there's
is
a limited amount of dogs you can adopt.
crazy.
There's an unlimited amount of dogs that you can make a video around and, you know, showcase in your videos. So like that's an example of, I think maybe creators traditionally have been in this mindset of like, I come up with ideas.
Yeah.
Come up with new ideas. I need 5 or 6 different buckets of content I make around. And the thing I keep seeing is just these creators who, honestly, their channel is a format. And then over time, maybe that transitions into a show, like the Golden Kobe show.
Yeah. So when do you advise this to get turned into a show?
I think it has to feel like a natural evolution as opposed to like a big launch. We as humans always want to just do these big, like, like cut the ribbon, like rip the band-aid off. It's this now. But I
has
think
to
it becomes
just
something
kinda-
where it's like,
Shows come naturally. You do it once and then it comes to you forever.
bit of branding mixed in, you know, consistent format. And before you know it, it becomes like something that just feels like a show. I think it's a slow shift as opposed to like an immediate thing.
What happens in this video? Like how can it be 15 minutes long? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I feel like the story's over if I'm being honest.
yeah,
when I look at it, I'm like,
short. I mean, I want to see it happen. 'Cause
No, I
it
wanna see
sounds
it.
Cute.
I want to see
But
it
I think
happen.
Once I see it, I'm good. How is this 15 minutes long?
Well, now you're exposing me for not having watched the video.
Batty.
This creator went through the core a long time ago. Great person. His name is JJ, and you know he's got a great team now that helps him with these types of videos that do a great job. But you know when you look at these videos, and when I've watched these videos in the past, the story behind the rescue dog, like what's happening, their interactions. It's not just purely they're meeting. It's like it's a whole story around this like kind of beautiful thing, which is the fact that his dog is incredible with other dogs and kind of bring dogs out of their shell. So it becomes almost like a transformation. This dog that's afraid of other dogs meets
it's
this,
fun in
you
the
know,
whole
lovely
family's
golden
life.
retriever. And that's the story.
we're also seeing creators with shows distribute those shows on other platforms.
Tubi,
So
bro, Dr. Insanity on Tubi. A couple other people are on Tubi, bro. You can watch YouTube shows on Tubi. But like we were saying earlier, they're going to Netflix and they're getting exclusive contracts.
Making money by syndication.
Yes.
The show's showing up on Netflix or Hulu or Tubi. So there's also like, as you really continue to grow and some of these channels are seeing significant viewership, like there are opportunities to put your shows on other platforms.
Yeah,
I looked at how
opportunity for
Amazon Prime Video did this
monetization.
with Jimmy. And obviously Beast Games, #1 show on Prime Video right now. It's the signature show. They've invested a ton of money into it. But part of that is they've brought on Jimmy's videos onto Prime Video, but they
Yeah.
are segmented and categorized. So there's one that's like Mr. Beast insane competitions, Mr. Beast sports competitions.
I've
and
seen
they're all
this.
different shows.
That's
but
so
the
crazy.
formats
They
have
just-
been organized
Yeah.
into shows. And I think the other example is Jesser is now on Hulu, balling out with Jesser, but it is his YouTube videos repackaged into a show.
Yep.
And so again, if we look at like the democratization of voice has happened, YouTubers can tell great stories that capture people's attention. It doesn't require Hollywood production studios. But
Nope.
when abundance happens, when there's so many of us and we're all being watched on the same screen and there's limited space, marketing matters a lot. And that's what a show does. A show changes the nature of how it's talked about, how it's perceived, and the recall of it.
Totally. And I think a point I'd make on this as well, that it's about the optionality of having that opportunity to make a show. Like you can do that. You can do that with YouTube now. You know, I still think we're, you know, not quite there in terms of like pure episodic, like the multi-show narratives, you know, because all the things we're talking about now, they still feel like individual videos that are built into a show format.
That has to do with the
Yeah, YouTube hasn't got together to do an until next time yet. I don't think anyone's successfully really done that. I mean, you could say like the honey thing, like wait for part 2 and stuff like that. But most of the time, that really doesn't happen. That's the only thing I could think of where it's just like, tune in like next time and we'll see you later. Other than that, yeah, YouTube hasn't really done the whole like next one. Like your first one better be really good and then your second one better be really good, or like they don't care.
platform. See, the platform is not set up to bring you from episode to episode. It's set up to send you the next thing they think you will find the most satisfactory.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think also on that point, it's like, I do
You
still,
can
there
make
is
a
still a
playlist,
place
though.
for creators who just make incredible individual videos. I think Red Bull is an example where I don't think there's like the Red Bull show. It's just like Red Bull are known for doing these incredible,
Yeah,
like,
just crazy
human-defying,
fucking
like,
shit. So
you
it's
know,
just the Red Bull channel.
spectacles and
Hmm.
you know, feats. And I wouldn't sort of say, oh, we're going to make that into a, you know, a show, as much as it's like, well, almost because we have the opportunity to do that, because we can break through, because in that placement on TV where there's 2 videos, like there's a high chance maybe we're going to be able to get there for a lot of viewers. I think it's still a great opportunity for creators that can do that to still focus on individual videos. But I think it's interesting is maybe like, you know, that video has 8 million views, which is like insane. But
Deadass.
maybe a bit
Literally
unrealistic to
insane.
think about, like, you know, a dog channel getting 25, 30 million views every video. Like, so it's kind of their way of being able to build something strong with momentum is maybe a show. Like that's not 20 million views every time, but maybe it's like 2 or 3 million views an episode.
Do you think there's a future where I open up YouTube on my TV and instead of titles and thumbnails for singular videos, they're all titles of shows and thumbnails for shows?
Similar
No.
to Netflix.
Yeah.
No.
What do you think?
I could see it as a
YouTube will never get to that point. It just will never. Like YouTube is too individualistic. Unless like YouTube makes you start categorizing stuff, but then you'll just have to make like it would still be titles and thumbnails same way. It would just be like standardized formats, I guess. Yeah, it would never happen. I don't think so.
beta test that they try for certain people, but I think it may not be in their best interest because at the end of the day, they do just want you to find the next video that you find the most enjoyable,
Yeah.
not the video that comes from the creator you might be watching in that moment.
I think it would make sense to surface shows like that you already watch, in my opinion. If they already know that you watch Challenge Accepted and there's a new episode, you know, I could see that kind of like being surfaced or displayed in that way. But
Yeah,
you know,
like,
YouTube
this
has
is the
built its
next
platform
one.
on
That
the
would make
kind
sense.
of really organic discoverability of like, I think although we're talking about how great shows can be, I think there's a counterpoint, which is like, does it become a little bit more gatekept then? It's like, these are the shows that already exist. And like a new creator starting out, they kind of grow by coming up with a great individual idea. It's kind of the funnel kind of goes, you ideate lots, you come up with lots of ideas, you try lots of things, most of them fail. This thing works, you try it again. Oh, now it's a format. And then over time,
then
now
it
it's a show.
becomes a
But
show,
if it's
yeah.
only shows being like displayed on TV at different places, like how do you find that initial like testing ground where you're like almost pilots?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's like
Yeah, I believe the beauty of YouTube is being there for the rise. Watching Jimmy when he has far less subscribers and he's making
Yeah.
Minecraft videos, or watching Ryan when he's doing commentary videos, or Michelle when she leaves BuzzFeed and just starts experimenting.
Just
or even for
starts
our
doing
audience who
shit.
has been through the many waves of
Know the
us
grind.
and now gets to have a different lens with what we.
Yeah, I like
love
the
watching
fact
a
that
YouTuber
one
grind.
channel that I love that I think does as well
Brittany
is Chris
Broski,
Williamson and Modern
Kombucha
Wisdom.
to now.
Modern Wisdom is a show on his channel. It's a podcast that he hosts, but then occasionally he'll do a vlog, and it's just like,
and they do well.
and they do really well.
Yeah.
And
That's like
that's our video, right?
That's this again.
Right.
Mhm.
There's an amazing graph that Nielsen put out about the most watched shows from
From 2020 to 2025, NCIS. Grandma and Grandpa are in the house watching Navy cops, boy. Grey's Anatomy. Bluey. Everyone loves Bluey. Literally everyone loves Bluey. Coco Melon. Criminal Minds. Suits. The Office. Holy crap. Ozark. Stranger Things. Love is Blind. I've never seen Love is Blind or Ozark. Don't shoot me.
2020 to 2025. Mostly all of those shows were not produced in 2025. Which
Yeah.
is incredible.
Wow.
But one of those shows is The Office, that's been off the air for 13 years.
Yeah.
And as we see creators come to TV, like The Office is one of those shows that has permission. You get on an airplane, you open up what they have, and you're in a paralysis of choice. Like The Office is probably what you're going to watch. And I think a lot about how do you create that? I think on YouTube, one of the very few channels that has that is Good Mythical Morning. Comfort watching, trust, 3,000 episodes of one show, permission. Like that to me is
Yeah.
like a very impressive.
You could
feat.
just put
But it's
Good
not to
Mythical
say
Morning
it's
on
the
and
only
watch
thing.
it
It's
for
just like,
literal
when I think about
days.
longevity and brand building, I think a lot about The Office.
That is wild when you think about like, if I was to get on an airplane and just think about the maybe 4 or 5 shows that I would be looking for. You know, the original UK Office came out in 2001.
Yeah.
No, when we were on the plane, like when I was on vacation this summer, bro, like my partner just downloaded a bunch of Danny Gonzalez videos to watch on a plane. Like straight up, like it was a show. Like I was downloading Critical Role episodes to watch, like, cause I was like, these are long. I could watch these on the plane, and if they're on there, they're fun. They're plane appropriate. Why not? Like, but yeah, The Office is one of those shows where you can watch and everyone's like, oh yeah, that's fine.
You know, the US Office, Parks and Recreation. These are they're sort of like brands that have been around, and you just have that comfort of like, I know this is going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what YouTube needs. You know, we have this situation where you go onto YouTube and you don't get that feeling of I know this is going to be good. You get this like crazy discoverability, which is why we all love it, and it's why we're all sitting here, is because of the YouTube algorithm's discoverability, being able to put us in front of people, which is crazy,
Yeah.
like 118,000 people, like, you know.
Yeah.
But I think maybe the
Wonder how
difference
many views this
is
video
you're
has.
not getting that like comfortable, like I know what I'm getting. This is the thing I want to watch, that you get with like a series and a brand that
Mhm.
has been built over time. So maybe the future's a mixture of both.
I'm curious if you could leave us with like some formats or like a list of formats that you know is working on YouTube right now.
All
This is
right.
a format that's been going for YouTube like 100 years of X. We sat down with a YouTube channel that we absolutely love called Speed. They did 100 years of camping gear. Are there certain frameworks and formats that you're seeing right now that are just kind of
Yeah,
These
it's
are the
always
ones
a
that
this
work.
versus this.
every?
So
Every brink
something.
ever.
So
Yeah.
going back to this creator here, this creator, obviously I've given a bit of backstory on him being a very small channel at the start of last year, and now has over 175,000
Every
subscribers.
chip,
It's
every
told me himself, he's
Pringle,
making
every
6
hot
figures a
brand,
week
yeah,
traveling the
every
world in the
something
space of
ever
a
is
year, which is amazing. He's had this format, which is like, you know, atheist goes to Christian church, you know, Christian goes to mosque for the first time. He has this like really interesting, like exploring different religions and having that contrast as a format. Another format he has had a lot of success with is every. So I went to every Christian denomination church. I went to every insert thing. And I've seen that appearing a lot on YouTube over the last few months, like doing everything. I bought every robot vacuum. Here's the best.
Yes.
I read every self-help book. Here's the 7 most important lessons.
Yep.
I think every is a really interesting format that I'm seeing out there. And it's funny because like when people think about that, they go like, people take things too literally. Like they're like, I can't read every self-help book. I can't read every business book. It's like, you read a lot.
Right.
You know, to the point where it's basically every, right?
I just thought of a funny title. I watched every YouTube video. Here are the 4 best. It's just kind of funny, like because it's ridiculous.
Totally unbelievable.
It's totally unbelievable.
But it is
fun.
still interesting. You're like, okay, you watched a lot of videos. What are the 4 best?
Exactly. Yeah. Any other formats that you're saying working?
It's a classic format that has been around a while, but like testing unique products. I watched a video recently. I can't remember the exact
that's been
title,
around
but it was
for
like,
years,
I bought
man.
every accessory for a Tesla or something like that. And it's just like testing all these different formats. There are these different accessories.
The other thing I've seen is like the level thing with the different colors, where it's like every level of blank.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's been one that has been.
And it's every again.
It's every again. You're right. Wow, interesting. Why do you think that is? What's the like psychology behind why?
You know,
Just like a level of effort that I'm not going to make as a viewer. It's a big curiosity gap.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go out and read every self-help book or buy every camera or do all this, but someone did a pretty good job at least. I'll check it out.
And I also think it's even tying back into our very start of this episode when we talk about TV and length. It's like every just feels whole. It feels like very, you know, expansive. It's going to cover a lot of things. It's a big thing.
I might take every.
Yeah, comprehensive. So when you look at
tried
like
every
even
fast
the
food
videos
tea,
I'm
here's
seeing
the
work
best.
really well in like
Don't steal my idea.
education niches, a lot of it is that thing of like, you know, my entire playbook. Or I've made, you know, we made this video with the creator Ramit Sethi last year, and it was like, I've made millions of people rich. Here's my entire playbook. Was the title and the thumbnail, and it's like just feels like you're getting this big expansive whole thing
That was kind of brought on by like the Hormozy Simon Squibb, like all of my business knowledge in 47 minutes.
2
right?
hours.
15 years of, and we did something similar. We did, but that's really interesting.
and that video, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that video probably started kind of slow, and then over time just
It is a steady grower.
it spans like for you guys like over a decade, right?
Yeah.
It's like so much of your knowledge curated. There was another really interesting video that someone who he went to the location of the Windows desktop screensaver.
That's very funny.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah,
And it
that's
was-
very good.
Saw that.
There's a few reasons why I like this video because
that's a
first
good
of all,
video.
the thumbnail is not anything like spectacular. I don't know exactly how to like name this format, but there's something very interesting about this because
I
what does it
saw the
tap
thing
into?
and
It's
did the
like-
thing. No,
it
I
is a
get
bit
that
of a spectacle.
too.
It's like a real thing. Like this guy's gonna go travel to
It's like
this place. Like, that's
expectations versus
really
reality.
interesting.
I
It's
think
also
that's
kind
the
of
format.
nostalgic.
Mhm.
You know, and it's also a question that we've always posed to ourselves. Like, what is that? That was such an interesting video because the first 2 or 3 minutes, he's just like figuring out where it is.
Yeah, I think also the suggestion, what you just said about the suggestion of something comprehensive and complete is a really important one. Where it's like that in that video, I know the video ends once he travels to that place. That's also why building videos are really helpful. You know, I built this thing. It's like, cool, the video ends when that thing is built.
Yeah. Speaking of, look
I
at
built
that.
a tiny office
I mean,
under
that's a
my stairs.
crazy
That is
thought.
crazy.
Is that a real? Is that how real is that? Because sometimes I look at this stuff, it's very satisfying, but I'm like,
That's
how
AI.
exaggerated is that versus how real is it?
And maybe that's what draws the click for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's fair.
17 million views. Few
Yeah,
I
you
agree.
just need to know what it is.
Similar to
Yeah.
I bought every or I read every self-help
Yeah,
book.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
no, you didn't.
Yeah.
But I'll see how far you got.
51 minutes. This was made in 2020. You saw 51 minutes, you'd be like, what? Now it doesn't feel that scary. It's like,
Right.
oh, I'm watching it on TV. It's actually a fantastic video.
So building a tiny office pod under my stairs.
Yep.
Tell me as a creator
is
why I
lit.
shouldn't use a more realistic version of what I actually built, unless that is the real version.
His build was actually pretty impressive. Like it's definitely like,
Okay, I
Wow.
gotta be honest. I'm watching the video, almost exact.
yeah,
Really?
it's,
Yes.
it's enhanced.
It's almost
see.
okay. Hold on,
Turn it around.
because let's talk about this video because this is impressive. This
No,
is
it's
a
very impressive.
unbelievable thumbnail.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about what you like about the thumbnail and the title, like why
Oh,
this is so
bright,
clickable? Because another
colorful,
thing about this channel Man
dynamic.
Made is it's 1 year old.
I'm pretty sure this creator actually like applied to our cohort. I might be in one of our cohorts coming up, which is hilarious because I'm like, you just did it.
You
But,
just
the
did
thing
it?
to me about this is like, I mean, first of all, just the shapes, like the triangular shape and then
Yeah.
the stairs.
Powerful.
I think that already is just like visually satisfying. Whenever there's something we really need to focus on, I love when we have some open space. It's so interesting. I sometimes think about how could a thumbnail be done wrong. I think if this like end of the sort of like room was at the very end of the thumbnail, I think you don't look at it and see it as like this thing that's being placed in someone's stairs. It just looks more like, oh, it's just a cool room. I think if that wasn't there, I think this video would have 3 million views instead of 17 million views. And that's like such a tiny design
That's
choice,
so
having that little
crazy. He
space.
just,
The
like,
person
moved
walking
it
up the
over a little?
stairs, I bet you anything in his first draft of this thumbnail, that person wasn't there. And then he was like, maybe I put someone walking up the stairs. And then it really creates that feeling of like that person doesn't look like they know he's there. And I think that helps a lot as well. And then just the colors, I mean,
Yeah.
the little details, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't even know what this yellow thing is, but just that little yellow and then the warmness. And one thing I would say with this format that I think is really interesting as well is like, you know, kids content on YouTube or content that's made for like, you know, a younger audience. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of honestly a bulk of YouTube these days. Like there's so much content out there for kids. A lot of creators just realize that the biggest
Yeah.
demographic of people who watch the most
They have the most
All right.
available time.
are kids, the most available time. So they end up tailoring for that. But the interesting thing about this is it's been a huge trend in the kind of more kind of like kids, like early teen space to make these like secret
Yeah,
rooms.
secret
I built a
room.
secret room.
Yep.
This is doing it, but I think this is done in a way that we
It's for
watch.
adults.
It's more for us. So it's like taking
Yeah.
that format. And I think that's the thing, like, you know, I've always kind of critiqued this mindset of like creators who think they're too good for like, you know, this kids content stuff. And they're like, oh, you know, that's terrible. I would never make. And there's still things to be learned from it. You know, you can still look and say, well, what would this look like if we age it up? Like I always think, you know, I remember someone really like critiquing Mr. Beast on Twitter one time, like, you know, people seem to love to do. And they were just like, look at this, like who would watch this? And I'm like, that's like me as a nearly 30-year-old man, like, you know, am I going to turn on Nickelodeon and be like, look at this.
Look at
Who
this.
would watch this, you know? Whereas I like to go and like,
Yeah.
look at this. What happens if we try to make this for guys in their 20s and 30s?
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
Because I'm like,
learn from it.
yeah, I want to watch that. That looks cool.
Frame.
This is the first
Yeah.
frame.
Well done. Yeah.
But look at
Very
that open
well
space
done.
that he created, right?
Touche.
I'm building a tiny office under my stairs because I desperately need it if I'm going to get any work done in my crazy house. I'll be revealing the final project to ex-Pittsburgh Steeler and famous YouTube woodworker John Malecki, and I've got a feeling that somehow
fuck?
I'm going to mess this up.
I messed up big time.
What an incredible intro that was.
No, that was a good
was
intro.
Everything that I did not expect.
Well, I think that's what's great about it is it confirms the click. Yes, this is exactly the video that the thumbnail said it was going to be, but what you didn't know and didn't expect
Yeah,
to get was
there's
that I'm
extra
going to be revealing
stuff.
this
Yeah.
to a woodworker who's really an expert
Yeah.
and a celebrity.
Yeah. And then gives you the personality. He makes it personal immediately with that personality of, I'm definitely going to mess this up.
I
Cut to
just
real
messed
time.
it up.
I messed it up. That's 16 seconds. I mean, that's like perfect YouTube.
That's a good
That's the
intro.
thing, right? So it's a 51-minute video, but the intro is 16 seconds. I said this earlier in the episode where people are always just so like extreme, like it's black, it's white, it's, you know, very like rip the Band-Aid off. It's, you know, but people will start saying, well, now you can go slower on YouTube, you can go longer. And it's like, well, you can still take some of the lessons that made the, you know, retention editing era of like 4 or 5 years ago still special. You know, it's like,
Yeah, you can still capitalize on the first 15 seconds.
Yeah.
As you should, and then let it
Yeah,
breathe.
your first 15
This
seconds
reminds
should
me
be
a
really
lot
good.
of that birdwatching doc listers that like once I understood the personality of it, I was so down to watch it for a long time. And I think here, like
Okay.
now that I know this guy's personality, I'm so down to watch 50 minutes of his personality.
Yeah, giving someone a glimpse of your personality in the first 15 seconds is so important.
So
Like
important.
the first time I realized that in that Lister's doc, they made a really dry joke.
Yes.
And it was like so deadpan. And I went to myself, I was like, huh. I was like, I'm in. Because
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the next one of that.
This here would be my older brother Quentin. And last year he was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of early onset bird watcher.
Yeah, it's amazing. Wow. This is a fantastic video.
insane.
What are you seeing in the world of AI? What's happening with AI on YouTube?
I saw a recent data that
Ooh.
YouTube shared that 92% of creators are using AI in their workflow.
Oh
Guess
my
it's not that
God.
surprising, but
It is crazy that it's almost everyone.
Yeah.
I would assume that if you extrapolate that to like human beings,
92% of creators are using AI. I don't use AI. That's
in
crazy.
their workflow, it would be around the same. Do you think like working humans that over 90%?
I mean, maybe I think we're potentially in a bit of a bubble with what we do, but yeah, I would assume at least, you know, you say you use AI in workflow, and I think people think about like generative video potentially, but there's just so many different entry points, whether it's just like research, workshopping a title, there's so many different ways to engage with it.
our clients are, you know, we're using it in different ways where whether it's researching, like helping produce videos, Like the generative like video is not something that I have felt like I've got to the level at yet that I would incorporate it in video, apart from using it for like motion graphics or B-roll or stuff like that. Thumbnails though, like AI enhanced thumbnails, you're not, doing anything crazy. You're just sort of taking what was in the video and using AI
Yucky.
to create something special. Like I've got a thumbnail here. A client we signed a couple of years ago, and this was our big breakout video with him, 19 minutes.
This is AI, but you could make this in Photoshop so easy. Like, you just need 2 birds PNGs, 2 tiger PNGs. This guy, you could get a rusty sign, type this on here, and then put yourself on there and just do. Like, this did not need to be AI. Like, this thumbnail is so easy to make. Like, you literally just take this picture, crop it, add your background. Like, people are so lazy.
Views, private tour of an Indian billionaire's secret wildlife rescue center. That thumbnail, it's based on what happened in the video. There's 2 tigers in the video. There's, the monkey, the hummingbirds, everything is in the video, but it is heavily enhanced with AI. And that was one of the most viral videos last December, got nearly 20 million views on a video. And that is an AI enhanced thumbnail.
To me, that's one
It
end of the
could've just
spectrum.
been
And that,
easier.
that is just a reality to me that's like a new tool.
Yeah.
It's like when Photoshop came around and magazines were around, people would be like, that's so Photoshopped.
Mhm.
It's the equivalent here. Like that's very AI, but we accept it. It's a design tool. It has implications on workflow, but like,
Yeah, but people were only calling out Photoshop when people were like photoshopping in people's waist or their arm or some shit like that, or they put a bad building in a background. But now that like people know how to use Photoshop, that's way different. That's a photo editing software versus like you could have made that in Photoshop. You didn't need AI.
largely, I think on YouTube, that's accepted.
That's
There's a
crazy.
few other elements of AI that are happening, which comes to the beauty of what social has been historically has been like, that's a real person telling me something.
So I think it was one of the head of product at Instagram. I don't know if you saw this.
Adam Mosseri's post, yeah.
It was about like how in the future it's just going to be easier to identify something as human
Yes.
as opposed to AI. And maybe that was the first time I was like, whoa,
Whoa.
like that's crazy.
That's not one of the heads of products. That's the head of
It's the
Instagram.
head of
Head of
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
he's being definitive there, saying, what made creators great was authenticity, but authenticity can now be manufactured.
Scary.
The answer, which I
That's
still
scary.
don't have yet, and I want to have, and maybe you can help with this, is, well, then what does it mean to signify something as human? If it's easier to do that, how do you do that? What are the ways to do that? Because it's not lo-fi, DIY. It's not, because that's going to be replicated too. It already has been. What is it?
To me, it's like there's some things
It's
that are
just being
moats
you, bro.
that are very hard to like
It's just being
that are
you.
harder for AI to cross, right? And
Yeah.
I think the obvious answer would be like, what makes you human? Like what the uniqueness about you, but ultimately AI can create that narrative for themselves, really easily. Sometimes
AI
it's like
can't think
access.
for a long time,
For
though,
example,
bro.
like this video that's still on the table right in front of us here. This is the first time anyone's ever taken a YouTube camera into the world's biggest like wildlife sanctuary in India. It's called Vantara. AI doesn't have that because it doesn't know what's there, right? So there's something to the fact that
But then you
this is a
just fed
video
it
where
to
someone's
AI,
actually
now it
going and doing
does.
something. I think about that, like even with one of our brand clients, the Philadelphia Eagles. I know this might sound like a tangent, but ultimately that is Jordan Mailata, the incredible football player. Like
And
I
he
mean, I
just
guess
put
AI
that shit
can
on
create
his
a model
head.
of him, but it's not him. We have access to him, and we can make that in a video. It almost feels like we're competing in unfair advantages. Like what are unfair advantages we still have as humans over AI? Like we can go do something, we can walk to something and shoot something.
I
We
guess
can have
so.
access to something that AI still can't have. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't like a little worrying.
The only
A little worrying.
moat right now is brand, and again, we keep coming back to that. It's like
Yeah.
brand and permission, and then it is just like having honest discussions about what you're trying to say. Because again, like I said, on YouTube and on social, everything you think you should make is going to get made, right? Like everything that you and I could be like, that would be a strategically
I was
a
like,
good video.
it's like that saying, there are no original
So then,
ideas,
if
but
that's already
like
made,
everyone has their own unique
what's the other
take,
thing
even
to
if it's
make?
very
What do I
similar. Because you're
actually
just
want?
gonna make a
Let's think
different.
about the channels that we
You're just gonna make a different decision on like if you place the camera here versus here versus here versus here. Like that's just human. Even if you do the exact same thing, your video will look different.
I think have been affected by AI, and not necessarily generative video, but like actually just AI as a, whether it's chat, Claude, whatever. I think like the sort of channels that maybe are feeling that a little bit are the kind of like how to's.
For sure.
5 productivity tips. It's not really a video you see these days. I see a video which is like how I, transform my entire life to be the most productive person in human history or something. It's like, well, why does that have 500,000 views in the video with 5 productivity tips is 5? It's because that's a unique person talking about their perspective, their experience. Even someone like Ali Abdaal, right? I bet you if you look at Ali Abdal's videos now and compare it to 2020, 2021, I think like there's been probably some shifts towards just like leaning into like what can only I say?
His experience, his perspective.
Yeah. I always think that like what can I say that others can't? Like what can I like cover that others
Yeah,
can't?
what can I say?
There's a study done
What do you have to
around
say? That's the whole
the
point of
premise of
YouTube.
AI slop,
Really?
and essentially suggesting that about 20% of videos fed to a new YouTube user are what you'd consider slop. One of the most prominent
Ugh,
channels.
bro,
is a
we
channel
just looked
from
at that
India
earlier. It
called
was
Bundar
straight up
Upload Those.
slop.
I don't know if you've seen some of the views on this.
I've seen this.
You've seen this.
Yeah.
I mean, these are unbelievable views. All this to say, space
Terrible.
is getting limited, I think. Or is it ever expanding? Like, is YouTube this ever
The pie
expanding
is just
environment where
always
there's actually
expanding.
just more and more room than we think? Because a lot of the videos you've shown me, I've never seen, but they have like 20 million views or 8 million
Deadass,
views.
that's
I've
what
never
I'm
even
saying.
seen the thumbnail. So is it that like YouTube actually just continuously has more and more space for new creators? Or is it that like we have to get more competitive?
So the pie is growing. The data backs us up. There's more viewership
Yeah.
on YouTube now than there was in 2019. I think
Yes.
the AI's threat to me is just the volume and the speed at which it can create.
Mm-hmm.
And I think any algorithm that is like not very sophisticated struggles with that. So I think the YouTube algorithm is very sophisticated, but if I was to say which is more sophisticated, the long form algorithm, the short form algorithm, I think the long form algorithm is much more sophisticated. It's been around for
Yeah,
longer.
short form
There's
is
more
just
inputs, there's more
pumpy
like
fucking bullshit.
tweaking because it's been around. The recommendation system came into play in I think 2011 or something or 2010. So where shorts came out in 2022 or 23, I think shorts has a harder time like filtering and ranking. I think it's good. It's still like a good algorithm, but I think that's why I don't know. I'll see more random shorts I didn't like that I'm like, how did that get here? Than like on YouTube long form because it still
Agreed.
feels like stronger and more curated. So the thing I worry about is like if there can be such a big volume of content made, does that affect those algorithms that aren't as
Well-
sophisticated? With the long form audience, I think if you told me, I don't know how many videos get uploaded a year, I should know that, but let's just say it's like
Well, it's 20 million a day.
Ooh,
20
look
million a
at
day.
that.
Multiple.
Give it up for follower number 3. We gotta change the text. Follower number 3. Give it up for follower number 3. Let's go, buddies. Come on, hate it, wait. Come on. Come on. Look who it is. Just a tail. Wow.
Multiply that by,
That's
2
math I
billion
don't even wanna
basically.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiply that by 365.
yeah, it's a lot. So there's
Yeah.
20 million a day, right? I think if you told me that that's going to increase to 60 million with AI, I don't really think that affects these sort of videos. I don't really think that affects my clients. I don't think that really affects the
Really?
top YouTube content out there
Okay,
because
lay down.
to me, again, YouTube's algorithm, it's a ranking algorithm. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how much you feed into a ranking algorithm. It is feeding out the outputs of, the 20, 30, 40, 50 videos that are going to be consumed by viewers, that are right for viewers. In theory, it could be 100 million videos uploaded a day. And if, 80 million of them are AI slop, that's the question though. Like if they get good
Yeah.
enough where we're like, wow, it's not the novelty. These are actually really good long form videos. Then I get concerned, but I don't think it's going to affect things
Whoa.
immediately, but it's, it feels like we're on an iceberg that's shifting around a little bit.
To me, it's similar to the TV conversation that it's not just algorithmic curation that's going to need to happen. There's going
I do see a point though where the internet gets so dead and so filled with bots that they have to purge them. Or else like advertisers will just there'll be a big correction at one point.
need to be some level of editorial curation that happens on YouTube, I think. If we get to 80 million videos a day, which actually might come quicker than we think, right? Like if we're at 20 million right now with what we just saw with AI video, we might get to 100 million videos a day very
Bruh.
quickly. That then brings up the question of curation.
How does that word feel to you as a YouTuber?
I love it.
You love it?
I think curation is a great thing that happens. I think curators and tastemakers have always been high value for us in culture.
Can I make the kind of counter argument that
Please.
one of the things that made YouTube so special is the no curation, the no gatekeepers, the wild west of like what is getting clicked on and what is like I always think that's so interesting where like I used to say like the YouTube algorithm doesn't care who your dad is. And it's not to talk down on anyone that's, you know, made a
Straight
career
up.
in other areas, but like I think naturally there's a lot of like layers to it. It's like this person likes it, puts it on. Like there was I think his name was David Peel, and
I agree. I do like that YouTube is just weird, bro. Like, they will legit throw you a 10-view video because you might like it. And, like, yeah, as I was saying earlier, there's some gas stuff. Like, I don't need John's daily picks or anything like that. I do like it being the Wild West.
maybe getting his name wrong, but there was a radio host in the UK in like the 70s and 80s. And like if you think about all the biggest bands from like that period of UK music and you know the Smiths, Joy Division, all these different bands, he just found their demo tape and was like, wow, I'm putting this on. And like he birthed so many, you know, musicians, which I think is amazing, but he probably missed lots. You know, he probably was like, oh, I missed that one. That would have been great. And I think that the great thing about algorithms is they are better at not missing things. But when you put so much volume in where it's 100 million, yeah, it might get quite difficult even for an algorithm to.
Yeah, and my career is a result of the lack of curation.
Yeah.
which I love, but I think it's cyclical. That when you get to that much volume, there has to come back.
If we get to 100 million YouTube videos a day and 80 million of them are AI generated, just cut the cord, bro. To be honest, just cut the cord. There's no point on being on a platform where only 20% of your user base is real.
A level of curation.
What do you think?
I'm torn. I agree with you that it's a beautiful thing, that it doesn't matter who you are. If you make something good, it has the opportunity to be seen. I don't think YouTube will lose that, though, even amidst curation.
Yeah, those aren't mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think it's fine. You know, Spotify, we know, has editorial curation, and actually I think that's different. I think that's entirely editorial.
A lot of editorial, yeah.
But I don't think it's mutually exclusive.
Kind of, it goes back to almost like the thing we talk about with shows versus individual videos. Like they don't have to be mutually exclusive. Both can work in the future.
Yeah.
But maybe historically only one has worked, which is individual videos. And we're entering that new dawn.
Well, Patty,
Amen.
thank you for coming on. I love that this is an annual thing.
Good to have you back.
The only prediction that I feel
YouTube is changing, boys. YouTube is changing. It's always going to change. It's always going to go up. It's always going to go down. Things are different. Things are weird. Just like, I think in the 24th, in 2 days, that YouTube is changing their view count, how their views count. You click on a video, it counts as view. Next year, they're changing how to get monetized. You need like double the amount of hours and stuff. But yeah, some crazy stuff. That was a good one. Let's go to the next video. Let me get a note of the time. Here's some cat attacks. That's for YouTube.